Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Hey there, if you like traveling, then here's a cool podcast for you. Check out The Rediscovery Project by Hoshna and Ambika, where they travel across India and talk about their amazing journeys. It's literally like a travel journey, but in a podcast form. How cool is that? You can check out the new episodes on the IVM Podcast app or anywhere else on the internet.
You're listening to Keeping It Queer with Naveen Narona.
Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Keeping It Queer. Today with me in the studio, I have PK Bai, and she insists I call her PK Bai.
Yeah.
But her real name is Prachi, and I'm so glad you're on this episode.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
And first of all, I wanted to have you on the episode because whenever I go out to any of the LGBT events, you're always there.
Yeah.
You're one of those steady fixtures that is always working behind the scenes and making sure everything's all right. So I'm really glad that there's so much involvement on some people's behalf in the community, and you're that one person that I always know that will be there, and you're a go-to figure, be it at the Pride, at the parties, or at the get-togethers. So we'll learn more about your life,
Sure.
PK, as we go on. But we begin this episode with your early life.
Sure.
Take us back to your early days.
So, during my school time, I was in second standard. So, that's where whole part of sexuality begins for me. Generally, when people are in around 8th or 9th, when they hit puberty, that's when people start realizing. But then, for me, it was second standard. Barely people know what is love. But then I was like, wow, I feel for girls, man.
That was like when you're 7.
I was
Hardly
6.
6 or 7. Oh my god. That's
was
really
6.
early to find out the sexuality.
I know, I told my dad about it.
When you were 6.
Yeah.
That you like girls.
Yeah.
And then?
And then he was like, go with the flow, beta. Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah. Then he was very fine with it. He never reacted in any negative way. That's I think my coming out was never like
A big deal.
any drama or nothing happened of that sort.
Yeah. I remember when I was in second, I was standing in line for a bus, school bus, and I mentioned like this girl I found cute. And I had no idea. I just said cute because I'd learned the word cute probably then. So I just said, look, there's a cute girl. And for the rest of my life, till I came out to my family, they teased me with that girl's name. And that was a rude shock for them. Oh, back in second standard, you like that girl? I'm like, no, I do not like her. Don't go to conclusions. But yeah, when you're that young, you don't really know. So how did you go with the flow?
So what actually happened is, I asked once my dad, what exactly is marriage? Because I only knew there is mama and dada. Then how do mama and dada meet before? So he's like, there are two best friends who get married.
Best friends.
We were like, my best friend is Rashi. That's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was my girlfriend. So that was the girl who I fell for in the second standard itself.
Oh.
So yeah, we used to play, Ghar Ghar.
Everybody plays Ghar Ghar.
Yeah, so apparently we were 3 people, me, Rashi and Manisha.
Okay.
So Manisha was
Already,
always our kid.
already progressive Ghar this is.
Yeah, totally. Like Rashi used to cook. Like she likes to cook.
Okay.
So she used to make food, all those, getting
Small-
grains and
yeah,
all stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to be the husband who used to come tired from work. And Manisha was a brat. Totally spoiled kid, wanting toys, wanting to eat chocolates. So that is how we used to play that time.
And I remember it's so hilarious that when we are kids, we pretend to be older, and then we actually grow old and we're like, shit, we actually do not like this. Let's go back to playing under the curtains.
I know, right? I just wish to rewind those days back.
Yeah. So you just have to pretend that you're working, but you don't really have to work. But that's the reality of life.
True.
So,
And
so you all played Ghar Ghar, and what happened?
so that is when I was like, what if we actually meant to be together, That is how it was. We turned out to be very good friends.
But wait,
in
what did
meanwhile.
Manisha do?
Manisha is my best friend. Was my best friend. So...
No, in the Ghar Ghar scenario, I'm asking, did she sweep the house? What was her role?
No. We used to make her sleep on a lap and we used to
She was a
sing.
baby.
Yeah. So, basically, Rashi used to scold her कि बेटा डैडी को परेशान मत करो. And I used to be that dad. नहीं मम्मी चलता है.
चलो bedroom में.
I know. There was no bedroom apparently, but then we had to go and make bedroom for ourselves in that small
Yeah.
area where we used to play.
Mm.
And they were like,
I used to actually build a proper like a fort with blankets and pillows and everything. And one was a collapsible blanket which would come down when you had to take some private time.
yeah, that is
But
true.
that was my potty bag in a way.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
we are imaginative as kids, and that's
Totally. So basically, when we were together, we used to play. That time, during summer vacations, we used to make tents out of chaddars that we had.
Yeah.
Like all the bed sheets we used to take mummies, dupattas and all. We used to make nice tents and we used to sit.
put it in revive and make a statue.
I wish.
Yeah.
But then apparently we used to just get all what we had in our homes, accessible things. So we used to sit together, get food from house, and then we used to eat. We used to relax there, and that is how the thing start developing. You know,
Yeah.
what I would love to spend life with this girl, and this is the best relation.
Because it seems so
I had.
natural, like when you're playing as kids,
Yeah.
it's just like it's in the process. You don't even think about it so much.
Yeah, we actually kissed that time.
Wow, now that's progressive, way too progressive.
Yeah, I know. That was like a first kiss of my life in my second standard.
Cute. It's really adorable.
Yeah.
And then what happened with Rashi?
So, I was like a stalker, man. I stalked her. Like, we used to sit on same bench. Like, me, Rashi and Manisha. I was the one who used to sit in middle. And Rashi and Manisha were like Riddhi Siddhi and I be in the Ganpati in between. So,
Great
that is how
reference.
it... Yeah. So, I always like to have girls around me. So, it's okay. So, that was the fun part. So, till 6th, 7th, we were together. And then 8th, we moved on to a hostel. So actually, Rashi was supposed to go to hostel, and I pitched to my dad, she's going to hostel, I would like to go to boarding school as well. He was like, kids do not want to go to boarding school, and she is one epic kid that she wants to go to boarding school.
Voluntarily, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, why do you want to go? Everything is fine with you. We don't want any discipline. You're fine as you are.
Yeah.
Like, it is not for me. It is for something else.
Yeah.
And then dad was like, is it for your best friend? I was like, yeah,
Man, your dad is very cool. I should get him on the podcast someday.
you should.
Yeah.
You'd love him.
Yep.
So now we shifted to boarding school. And
But you all went
that-
to the same boarding school.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I asked my dad to take admission into the same one.
Okay.
So apparently...
that is talking. That is class A felony.
Totally. So we did our boarding together. But then when I entered boarding school, she had no idea that I came for her.
She was just happy that you're there.
Yeah, I just told her, you know what, my dad decided to put me into this boarding school. I didn't want her to know because I was not sure what she would react. By that time, I was matured enough ki what is a proposal and what if someone denies. So I was very conscious about it.
So this boarding school was all girls or how? It was?
No, it was a co-ed
Co-ed.
school.
Okay. But then the hostels were like different, obviously.
Yeah, there were dormitories, but then apparently we got because P and R comes together, we had dormitory in one what do we say as one flat types.
Correct. One chamber sort of.
One chamber. We had like 17 beds, and our beds were like opposite to each other.
Nice. It's all working out.
Yeah, but then apparently we shifted to on the same bed beside me.
Okay.
So that is how we adjusted, and things went on smoothly, very smoothly actually.
Then something happened after that, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, I actually started getting more engaged, and then this lady's birthday is on 16th of December. I went and proposed her, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
How young were you though?
I was in 8th.
Okay.
I went and proposed her like.
And were there people around? Were there other girls
No.
around? No.
I made sure that no one is around. It was very early in the morning when everyone used to get up. I was in military school, by the way.
Okay.
So we had
Discipline and everything.
Yeah, very disciplined. So we had to get up before 5 to be at 5 on the ground. So I woke up around at 4:30 and got ready for the drills. And she was not awake yet. And she woke up crying. I miss my mom, dad.
Oh.
We're like, okay, sorry. Like, no, you forgot something today. We're like, I have not forgotten. It's your birthday. I know it. So I had made...
All this talking has come in handy now.
Yeah, totally. So then I had some biscuits, cream biscuits. I made cake out of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like you scraped the cream off the biscuit.
Like literally I formed one cream
Layer
layer,
of-
one biscuit layer, one cream layer.
That's how prisoners make cake, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah, we
I was-
were kind of prisoners there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had amazing cake made for her with the gym jam,
Okay.
and she thoroughly enjoyed it. Early in the morning, we were not supposed to eat anything
Okay.
before we go for the drill because there's a whole process.
Yeah, it throws the
that-
entire.
Yeah. So she enjoyed it, and she's like, I don't want to go. Like, listen, we just have 5 minutes, and we have to run like
Run,
10
yeah.
minutes
Yeah.
from here.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let's go. Like, before that, I want to say something. And I was like, you know what? It was not a coincidence that I came here. I came here for you. And she's like, what? And then I said, I love you.
Oh,
She just walked away, man.
straight to the point.
She didn't even react. She
Oh,
just
shit.
walked away. And I was like, what did I do? I was in turmoil the whole day.
Then you didn't see her all day?
We used to see, but she just walked away.
She ignored the whole.
Like, if she was coming in front of me, she would turn her ways, man. Either she'll turn to the right or left.
So this went on for a while, or was it for like only one day?
This was for one day. Then that night, I think, I don't know if she noticed, I was crying. Ki, what did I do wrong? She was my best friend. I never want to lose her, man. I cried. I think she might have noticed that. And in the morning, she woke me up this time. And she came near me and she's like, stop crying. I know you're crying from night. Like, even it hurt me, but there is something even I like to tell you. Like, don't tell me that you're not going to talk because I cannot take it. Instead, just walk away. And she was like, I like you, but I don't know what is it.
Correct.
Like, take your time. I don't want you to get into something which we are not sure of. We'll
But
figure out by
I'm
the
amazed
time.
by the pragmatic behavior. Like, you're very sound-minded people at 8 years, eight standard students. I don't understand how you all had so much of clarity in your life.
I don't know still.
You're having like very adult conversations, like we'll figure out, go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very weird for me as well to be that matured because if you see me like that, I will be the most childish or kiddish person ever. And in this matters, I was the adult. And she was the kid over there. But then even she had that sense that there is something, this is very serious thing. This may hurt someone, this may build our life. So that is what happened. So we took time. We never went with full force. But one thing I made sure that for every day when I wake up, once I used to say her, I love you. That is what I followed.
Yeah.
Like literally. जैसे मंत्र पढ़ते हैं, I used to say her, I love you that many times.
It's adorable.
I know.
So then this continued for a while, or how long was it?
No, it continued, and the best part was on my birthday, she gave me a gift.
Which was?
She said me yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the amazing
So,
part.
so like that on your birthday you said I love you, and she like, yeah, I love you back.
No, it's on her birthday I proposed, and
Okay.
she said me yes on my birthday.
Yeah, precisely. So on your birthday you said ki I love you. You said I love you dedicatedly every day.
No, I didn't say I love you that day. She
Oh,
woke me up with I love you.
Oh, sweet.
That was the most amazing part on my birthday. I had that best birthday. It was 2009 that time.
There should be a movie,
Yeah, I know, right?
short film about
Yeah.
finding true love in a hostel.
Yeah,
on
that
bunk beds.
happens, but apparently not all things are meant to be there. But then we carried on for a very long time. We passed out 10th together. Then we appeared in 11th. 11th we detected that she had a cancer.
Oh my god.
She had bone cancer that time. And it was in the last stage. Her bones were very weak. So she
Damn.
was trying. And that time I failed my 11th. And
Because of the pressure that she had also.
yeah. So that's the one time that she had given me one gyan, which I always remember. That if I can fight for ourselves, then why cannot you? Why are you giving up and why did you fail like
11th
11th standard.
Hmm.
Then I was like, okay, it's time to fight now.
Hmm.
So till then I was not aware of these terms as lesbians, bisexuals or nothing. We just knew that we were in each other. That's all we knew. And we wanted to spend life with each other. That was the main motive. So we finished our 12th and we went on a tour. Like literally.
And how was the health in the bargain?
So okay, what happened is in the 10th standard, I had made official proposal to her in front of the school.
Oh, this time was like a grand
not school type, so but it was my school group. So I had proposed her, and it was like it was a traditional day. I wore that kurta pajama and all those Nehru jacket types, and she was in nice lovely Punjabi suit, white color. And this lady walks in, and I'm like, dude, should I do it or no?
Yeah, this is the time.
I know. And there's a classroom like totally filled with people around. Some of them are hiding under the benches because we don't want her to know that what is actually going on. All the fans in that classroom had petals on it.
Okay.
So, and some had that snow cans and some
Man, this is like proper budget production.
And there was
proposal.
someone in our group who used to play guitar.
Okay.
So he got guitar for
Cherry
us.
on the top, yeah.
Totally. And there was one person who sang as well. So it was like a perfect proposal day. So
only thing left is like a waiter coming with like a ring in the champagne glass.
No, that I had with me.
Oh fuck.
So I didn't get much of my pocket money that time. So every day I used to get like $10.
Okay.
That was still too much during those times. Those $10 were like, I used to save like 6-7 rupees every day. 2-3 rupees for buying those Pepsi Cola and some chocolates for her. And that's how I used to save. And then I went to one of the shop nearby. I just checked out what the price is. And apparently those fake rings, like
candy ones?
Not candy ones. I had better
I
metal ones.
When I was in 10th, I would have preferred a candy one though.
No, we
I
were
can
not
just lick on
candy
it.
fans at all. Like
Yeah, you're much mature than obviously I was when I was in 10th.
we were in this part, but then we were like the kiddish people ever on this planet. So I've still got a metal ring for her. I think it cost me around like $50
Oh,
that
damn.
time. So those some rings that you get in train.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the fake gold ones, yeah.
The fake gold ones. So I made it a point to travel with my mom in train. I
Just so
never
you can-
travel with my mom because there is so much crowd. Even if we had to come, we used to stay in Vasai, and that was like shit crowded, man.
Always.
Totally. And then my mom is like, "What is wrong with you? Since when have you started traveling?" Like, I was like, "No, I just want to gauge, how traveling is. Next year I'll be going in college, and I will need to get out of home, do these things." She's like, "Okay, something is wrong, but then let it go, whatever it is." So I took that ring that day, and this is what happened. So on that proposal day, I just proposed her with all going on my knees,
Lovely.
she entering, petals blowing around, snow cans being sprayed. Wow, it was
The whole deal.
have you seen that gift where the two there is a couple rotating in between and snowfall happening in that bowl?
It's like one of those from Om Shanti Om kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But then that happened in real with me.
Okay.
So that is what was like a dream, which is happening right now at that point of time. And this was like I can't even express how emotional it was because
Sounds beautiful.
yeah.
So the proposal happened and she said yes on that day as well. In front of the whole class.
That is where drama was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen. So I just proposed her on that day, and I was like proper. It was a kiss, first time in public, like not public, but my friends. So it was a proper kiss, and we had, I don't know, we were invested in each other. That's when our principal had to walk in on that moment.
This is
And
turning into a comedy movie now.
Oh yeah, man. No, it was moreover like those suspense drama, tadang, Ekta Kapoor styles. So yeah, this lady walks in and I'm like, oh fuck. Now I am screwed, man. And she was like, don't panic, relax. And
I
I'm
got
like,
this.
How can we not panic? It is going out everywhere in this world. I'm like, okay, what? How does it matter? Are you not true to me? And like, listen, I don't want to fight. And there is nothing about true and not being true. It's about this getting out to my parents. I was not out to my mom. I was not sure what is she gonna react. I was ready that I will be kicked out the other day. And she's like, "Tu aaja mere ghar pe rehne ko." And I was like, "Okay, fine, thank you."
So that's a lovely like situation altogether to like have been through so much with someone, and as you said, like she was diagnosed with cancer last stage, but she was still fighting. And after 12th, you all decided to go on a tour together.
Yeah, totally. So
where you all go though?
We went to Nainital.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so we went to Nainital because she loved those places, like hill stations and places which had like beautiful greenery around. And she was fond of those wooden khatolas, she used to call them, and I don't know what the hell is that.
Isn't that like a ship or a flying ship? I don't know.
I don't know how it is supposed to be, but then she was fond of it. But apparently that time they were not working to go from one mountain to other. Those what are those, moving trolleys or something?
Yeah, they're like trams basically in the air.
Of. So she wanted to sit in that. Like, okay, we'll do that. So that is how both our families planned our trip. So it was kind of honeymoon experience.
Yeah, it's like a honeymoon only. most couples go to that, like the families planning their honeymoon.
Yeah, basically it was my honeymoon period then. So this happened because of the principal. Wow. Thanks to her that she walked in on that day, because the other day my parents and her parents were called in. And we were like eating our nails and what is going to happen, roaming around here and there. And then I was being called into my principal's cabin. That is when principal told, "Aapko pata hai aapki beti ne kya kiya?" Like, my mom is like, "वो कुछ गलत काम तो नहीं करेगी, इतना मुझे गारंटी है." Like, okay. And I was like, I don't know if that was right or wrong. I just did what I felt that time because I proposed her. I knew that in movies what they do is just kiss. So I kissed. So this.
ये बच्चे चुम्मा चाटी कर रहे हैं आजकल के, क्या कर रहे हैं लोग?
आपके बच्चे बिगड़ रहे हैं. That is what she told. And my mom and her mom, I don't know what they were talking. They just went out for like 2-3 minutes and came in. And we were like, अभी तो बजी अपनी भाई, भाग लो यहाँ से, वरना घर पे जाके तो वैसे भी पढ़ने वाली है.
चप्पल से मार.
Not चप्पल से मार. My mom never hit me, so that's the best part.
Okay.
Though they were like those parents who never hit their kids. They will punish them in other ways. They will like, तेरी पॉकेट मनी बंद करवा दूंगी मैं. And that was important.
Yeah, that was more important. Yeah.
हाँ, तो that is what happened. And this two ladies come in. And they were like, हमारे बच्चियों को प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? And we both were staring at their faces and what are these people talking about?
Again,
full power drama, diding types. We're like, wow, this is something amazing. I thought there would be at least some drama,
some resistance to this.
And nothing happened. After we went home,
that is the smoothest coming out story I've ever heard.
Oh, I was scared as fuck. And nothing of that sort happened. I was like ready for the worst. I was counting in my head that, dude, I just have like 100 rupees in my pocket money. What am I supposed to do with that
Yeah,
if my
how
mom
will I
throws me
survive?
now? And I also have my girlfriend. How am I supposed to take care of her? I don't have a job.
Like the Gargar scenario is real now. You'll actually have to make a blanket house and live in that.
Like totally.
On a footpath.
All those thoughts were actually running in my head, and I was like, "Abhi to gaya." And mom comes home and she's like, "Are you sure what you are doing?" I was like, "Listen, I am sure." But then she was not in denial mode, but then she's like, "Take your time. Maybe it will pass on.
It's a
You
phase.
may like someone, and maybe it's a phase. This comes at the end." So she doesn't talk much about it, but she has accepted that part.
So the principal was essentially like one of the people who helped you all come out, and now you all were on a
Yeah,
trip together
actually.
in Nainital.
And I was planning to come out once I have a proper job. I would have settled.
That
I
is the
would still
psyche for
have-
most people
yeah.
who are trying to come out. Is like you have to be a little more self-sufficient in a way.
And I was not afraid because my dad was with me.
From
and
second
he
standard.
knew.
Yeah.
Man. That was like one of the best moments. And he is the best person in my life till date because I think I have not even shared a single thing with my mom about me, but he knows every damn thing, every damn move of mine. So even before I do, he's like, "Are you going to do this?" I'm like, "How do you know?" I'm like,
I'm your father.
"Yeah."
But that's rare. Like we in India, we usually have more reserved dads, and moms are the ones we usually talk to first because
Yeah.
we have that maternal connect, and we know they'll understand. But
Totally.
having a supportive dad, what's your dad's name though?
My dad's name is Ramesh Kathale.
So Ramesh Sarji, you're really cool, and I hope you listen to this. And I think you're a very key part in the story in TK's life. So now you're on a trip. I want to know what happened then.
So this trip, we came back and we were having this funny and amazing memories. We didn't had cell phones those times.
Correct.
So we were back and we were waiting for our results badly. And this lady had to talk to some guy. Apparently, I didn't knew who was that person. I started doubting her, man. Are you freaking carrying on with that guy? I knew that she had crushes on guys, but then I didn't took them in literal sense. But then this was the point where I was like, dude, I am starting to doubt you now. Are you even true to me? Are you into someone else? And that is how it was.
Oh shit.
So this was like, I blurted this out, and the next day we were supposed to have our results. We were like, you know what? I don't want to be here. Then I asked my dad, can you do me a favor? I just want to go out somewhere to roam. Can you just give me some card of yours so I can spend some money? I will not spend much, but I will be safe. That was very confused. What is happening with this girl? She's behaving weird. All of a sudden she wants to go somewhere without Rashi. And now I had taken off from Mumbai. I was out. I was in Shimla. And I don't know. I think I was back after 7 days. Maybe, like, I went on Saturday and I came back on Saturday itself.
Next
The other
Saturday.
Saturday. So this Saturday when I land here, I get this lady a Manali cap because I was out in Shimla again. And she loved those caps. And I was supposed to say her sorry. Ki Rashi, I am sorry to doubt on you. I know you love me, but then I did not get that chance ever. Because the day I took off from here, the other day she passed away.
The very next day or like?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Oh, so that is one moment in my life which I will always keep getting back at, that I did not get to see her last.
Because you all were inseparable for the longest part of your life.
But then it took some time, then I moved on. That was
I can only imagine how painful it must have been for you.
Yeah, then I had Manisha always with me till then. Manisha was like my support. She was the funniest person in my life. Even when Rashi was there, Manisha was always the one to solve our quarrels and everything went wrong between us. Manisha was like the Joker card who used to come and just solve everything in a minute. You're like, wow. And this, I think last year in March, I lost Manisha as well.
How
She
so?
had brain surgery. So I have lost these two best friends, but then I have the best memories. This is how my childhood and my coming out was. And these people meant life to me. My dad, my mom, and these two people, they made my life living worth. Today, I see people fighting for the acceptance, but I did not have to go anywhere.
You didn't have to fight.
No,
But
not
the
at
struggle
all.
was entirely different. I think losing people, and this is something I always deal with myself, is that for me, what's happened is mostly people I have been very close to have had to move somewhere.
Yeah.
And that itself takes a toll on people, like
Totally.
not having to deal, not having that person in your life entirely. I can only imagine that must have been so stressful and so painful for you to lose your friends.
I know it was very stressful. It took a very long time to come out of it because every day we used to wake up together, be there together. But then certainly you need to believe one thing, that everyone has their own timeline. They work on theirs, I work on mine. And
It's more or less destined in a way that,
totally. They have had their journey. Mine is still going on. So somewhere or the other, even I will be off from that track. So
But you
it's
keep
okay.
fighting as you go along.
Yeah, that's
and-
what. That is what Rashi always told me.
Yeah.
You never give up for
Yeah.
anything.
Till your last breath, you keep
Yeah, you
struggling.
need to
keep
fight. You need to fight. I have those, certain times I feel I should give up my life. But then there was one situation, I think some months back, I was about to commit a suicide.
Okay.
I was standing on the terrace. I was looking down and I felt that this is not worth.
Sometimes it seems when you're on the edge of a terrace or on the platform, sometimes you do think when you have that kind of mental situation where you're going through so much, how easy will it be to just take the step and fall off and just go?
Yeah, totally. So I was standing there and that was the moment when I realized I have worked, I have been there with everyone and they have given me chance. They have stood by me. There are people who love me. I have no right to kill myself because I will not just lose myself. I will lose all those people who are there with me. So
It'll all
that
be
was-
in vain. No, you have done so much, you've struggled so much, and today you keep fighting. And I see that in physical form that you're there. You're really making an impact. And we'll come back from the break and
Sure.
we'll talk more about your life, Prachi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Every week comes a show where three people come together to tell you about stuff they like. A movie, a TV show, a book, and other stuff. Tune in every Monday on iTunes, Audio Boom, the IVM Podcast app, to IVM Likes. Batman approves this message. Thank you, Batman.
Hello and welcome back to Keeping It Queer, and I'm here with PK Bai, and PK told us about her early life and how she lost two of her friends, but she assures us that the serious part of her life is over and now the fun part starts.
Yeah.
So take it away.
So fun part begins with my college life. As we know, everyone has someone or the other, circling around you. So I had this guy who was with me always, being my best friend. Everyone thought we were carrying on. They planned our marriage, and I was like, wow, this is something new. I never knew this, and walking with this person was the most hilarious thing because when I recollect now, it never worked out between us. We did try to carry on and we were dating for some time.
Did you all kiss?
we tried to.
We
And-
tried.
Yeah,
but
we tried because there was no feelings at
yeah,
all.
Yeah.
And then after that, we never spoke in that manner.
Hmm.
But then he came out to me one day.
That he's gay.
Yeah.
So then I can imagine the feelings were like far from like even there.
Yeah, man.
You know, like at least if you're like a guy and a girl, if the girl is lesbian or guy is gay, and if the other person's straight, then there's some friction on some level.
Yeah.
But if both of y'all are from the opposite spectrum, then there's no chance.
Totally. And then this guy was carrying on with a girl, another girl.
Before
I'm
that?
like, yeah, why are you carrying on? No, he came out to me and he was carrying on with other girl the other day.
She's the beard, as they call it. Like, you know, when in college, gay guys usually
Yeah.
try to have a girl around, and she's technically a beard because
Yeah,
then it
man.
proves your manliness, and you're like, yeah, I'm straight. But yeah,
And she was also that bi types, man. Come on, hey, Sala, tu kya kar raha hai? Aise type. And well, wow, this is a girl that he wants to like be with. Like,
maybe he's just attracted to lesbians. That's probably it.
I think, yeah. And this guy carries on with her, and I'm like, are you sure? Dude, you be with her and stare at guys. Stop doing that, man.
It's so obvious.
And she is like, you stop staring at my girlfriend. I know she is odd, but then
It's a
apparently,
weird trifecta of.
yeah,
like,
it is like a triangle happening.
Mhm.
That lady was amazing person, and apparently she ran away and married, man.
Whom?
I don't know.
Some random guy.
I know, yeah, some random guy, and this was like, Mera kya hoga? And I'm like, listen, please. Being with her, there was nothing happening, and being with someone who you don't love, you just want to be with them because you need a company, doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
So, this was the most funny part because people used to think that we were carrying on. Then he was with someone else, and this was like a controversial topic in our college. Like, भाई तुम लोग को कुछ और काम है या नहीं है?
This college was in Bombay itself?
Yeah, it's in Goregaon.
Okay.
So there we used to like from early in the morning our lectures used to start, and we never used to sit for the lectures. We were always in the canteen forever. Then we used to go for practices. He used to go to dance practice. I used to be in theatres. So busy with our day. Again, leave together in the evening. Have some nice chit chat on the station and depart our ways. This happened for a very long time, and this person is now committed with a guy, and that is the best part. And both are not yet out.
Only you and some people know.
Yeah, there are very few people know. That's why I'm not taking that name here, because I'm sure he listens to your podcast.
He does?
Yeah, he does.
Thanks,
So-
man.
The stranger. So the fun part which comes into picture here is this person dresses. We had a mix and match day. He dresses like a queen. Madhuri Dixit wala skirt
full
and
drag.
all. Man, like, dude, you wanted to be a girl? Tell it. It's okay. Like, people were laughing at him. Like, listen, it's okay. It's a mix and match day. He tried to mix something and he matched it with something.
Yeah.
And
If the lehenga matches the chunni, then what's the problem?
yeah, man, totally. And he was looking most amazing than other girls around.
Just jealous.
Yeah.
I think that's what sometimes homophobia is. Like, we look so fabulous sometimes in our own skin that people are like, oh my god, they're so bad. But they're not. We
Yeah,
look
totally.
fabulous.
And this guy was one reason that I had to be sure that I am out. Because I was not ready to be linked to a guy, because I know that is not right. How long will I keep it hiding? And if my mom and dad knows and they are okay with it, how does
Yeah.
it matter if others okay or no? So I decided to say it out to our friends ki, listen, I'm not interested in this guy, and stop teasing us, because this is not serious like a relationship or something. This is just a friendship that is, and एक लड़का और लड़की दोस्त हो सकते हैं. This was the ultimate dialogue that I had to give them.
Yeah.
And they were like, Are you sure? You always hang out with him. You go on night outs. Well, that does not mean that we are having sex.
Yeah, that's a college identity in general, right?
Yeah,
like people forget about everything else and just make this coupling thing, like shipping everybody and like catcalling ki haan, jab the girl comes, the guy's name is taken and all that. So embarrassing that is.
Yeah, that is true. And he looks very cute. Anyone can fall for
Now I'm
that.
interested.
Yeah, you should be. So he is very cute person and very, very down to earth person, by the way. And this person walks in hand with me. And teachers again have a problem. Teachers again come into my life somewhere. कि प्राची ऐसे लड़कों के साथ में घूमना अच्छा नहीं होता. I'm like, listen, I am not carrying on. I am just being friends. And it is okay if I am holding a hand. It does not mean that I am, being with him or I am dating him or in relation. And how does it matter you? Because I am not even, I don't want to say it, but why do people assume things? That is my problem. Because assumption is mother of all fuck-ups in life. Because we start assuming things turn out to be the way we want to.
That's the story of my life. I think that quote defines my entire life. I feel so bad right now. I'm just like, shit, dude. Yeah. Assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups.
Happens. But then this was one good way that I started coming out of the closet. And I was much more active on the college level. Though I was not that out. But then I was very clear on my front ki don't tease me with guys. I'm okay to have girls around me. They did not get that hint ever.
So when did you like actually get involved in the LGBT community from your college transition?
After my college, I used to work with Wipro. Then I shifted to television industry. I worked there for fiction, non-fiction, movies, everything. You name it, and I have done that. It's kind of that position. And that's when I came out to one of my friends. We were working on one same project. And
so when you left college and started working, you were not out to your colleagues, is it?
No one. Because I was not sure. I used to work for Marathi industry. I was very sure that Marathi mindsets are typical. They cannot accept that fact. They don't understand gays. They may judge. But then that was my fear. So I never kept it open about my sexuality when I was working. I didn't want to hamper my work because I don't know what would be the consequences that time.
That's true.
So I kept working, and there was a guy working with me on same project. I think there were 2 consecutive projects of the same show. So first project, we all were a team, and this guy starts dating one of the girl, and I also fall for that girl.
Competition.
Yeah, man, totally. Always it has to be. Everywhere I have to see a girl that has to be with some, like, that has to be already engaged or
there's
with
a thorn
someone.
in your part.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand this fact कि भाई लड़कियां कहाँ है और है तो फिर भी लड़कों के साथ में क्यों है. And then this person was one of the amazing friends I think ever. He was so cool about it. He's like, I think you pretend to be straight. Like, what do you mean? He actually jumped into the topic.
Yeah, he came inside the closet with you.
Yeah.
Tu aaja bahar.
He was actually the one to pull me out of it.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you actually? You keep staring at this person. Like, yeah, I like her. Like, you like her or you love her like her? Like, listen, nothing like that sort. But then I came out to him. And then he came out to me as a bisexual.
Oh.
And like, wow.
So your entire life is just like
reciprocating coming out.
That's nice.
Yeah, someone or the other I have to come out to has to come out to me.
That's the thing. Like, see, we usually use these labels as a way of identifying ourselves.
Yeah.
But in reality, you never know what percentage of your sexuality is what and how. Because society conditions us like this, we are forced to believe that, a man ends up with a girl and a girl ends up with a man. And so in that duration, any kind of feelings that you develop for the opposite gender or for the same gender is kind of subdued.
That's true.
But then you had the privilege of obviously being with a girl when you were young itself, so you the experience, and moving on from that, you helped a lot of other people come out in a weird way itself.
Yeah, I know. So this time when I was talking to him, it felt very easy. I think what I had assumed was way beyond, or just imagined those things. It was all in my head.
Again, assumptions.
Yeah, assumptions. See, and then I started coming out to all my colleagues. I was not afraid of it.
Abhi khula sand ekdam.
I know. I was like, "Hai main to kya?" It's like that was very blunt on face, and they were like, "We knew this." And I was like, "What do you mean by you knew this? It is not written on my face." And they're like, "Dude, please, you have it always over you. You come and like, whoa, I don't know how they defined me that time, but they were like, तू आती है ना तभी पता चल जाता है ये किसी पे तो लाइन मारने वाली और वो लड़की नहीं हो सकती. Like, ये वाली लड़की वो वाली लड़की, they helped me out literally.
They were closing for you.
Literally. We used to go out during our breaks in this project, and we used to stand niche somewhere in an area of Andheri. We used to stand there, chit chat, and this girl used to walk into that showroom and buy some stuff with those bags. You're like, I wish I could have holded that bag, and she would be the one holding my hand and walking together. And this is how stories turn out. This were the.
But what's interesting through your stories, and I've learned this, is that sometimes we. Sometimes what happens is that we ourselves, हम लोग अपने आप को कोसते बोलते कि शायद से nobody will accept me if I don't tell them, and like it's better if I live like this. But what I've learned from what you've told me so far is that every time you told someone, they have had a very neutral reaction to it. They were not. So we build up this whole thing in our head that oh my god, my coming out will be so dramatic and people lash out and this happen. From your dad to your principal to your best friend to your other colleagues, everybody's been so cool about it. That shows that we just have to talk about it to just get the conversation out, and then we can live with that. We don't have to be subjugated because of that.
That is what my short film is also about.
Okay.
So last Kashish, I met this guy who apparently wrote a script, and he was like, I want to make a short film. We're like, okay, we can team up and I can help you in doing that. And it was since long I have not directed a short film and I have not written a screenplay. It's a good opportunity, I thought. So I took in the script with me. I developed a screenplay. I had to cut it as per the commercial way. I know what sells in the market, so I had to cut those things which were not relevant.
And we should be all grateful to a platform like Kashish.
Yeah, totally.
For our listeners who have not heard about Kashish Mumbai Queer Film Festival, it was started by Sridhar Rangan, who was also on this podcast, and he spoke about how he first got into LGBT filmmaking. And there are so many aspects of our lives that people don't even know about.
So my short film is named as an initiative, a step. An initiative to speak up, an initiative to not assume, an initiative to open up, because this is all positive short film which I wanted to bring to our notice, because positive things happen. If we be positive, then we will get the positive outcomes. That is what I feel. And you don't need to force someone to accept ourselves. You need to inform them. Okay, this is what it is, and we cannot change for you. And it is something you need to tell them that you need to respect we as humans. And there is one very, very amazing thing which was told to me by my dad, that you should not use labels as lesbians or bisexuals or transgenders. Maybe you are one of those, but then we never say that we are heteros.
Yeah.
So why do you label yourself? Just be a human. That is what matters. And if you're connecting to other human with a good heart, more like it.
So, like, only with time and conversation will we be able to ease into the conversation. That's the whole idea, right? We'll have this perfect society one day where we don't have to come out. We don't have to yearn for people's acceptance. We just live and everybody's cool. All right, so at this point, let's take another break, Prachi, and we'll come back and we'll talk about how you got more involved with activism. Keeping it queer, PK and I. Yeah, having fun?
Yeah, keeping it always queer.
Hey friend, so if you're listening to a podcast right now, you're probably some kind of a nerd. A nerd at heart, at least. So maybe, just maybe, you might like another podcast about nerds, by nerds, and for nerds.
It's called Geek Fruit, a community to unite estranged geeks from across India and later on the world. We talk about television, movies, science fiction, adventure, fantasy, etc. Anything nerdy, it's all here on Geek Fruit. You can catch a fresh episode every Monday and a Retcon episode every Tuesday.
And you can check us out on iTunes, Audioboom, Stitcher, or any of your favorite podcast apps. Like my favorite podcast app, the IVM podcast app. Give me my money, IVM.
Good plug.
Happy listening, you nerds.
Hello and welcome back to Keeping It Queer. I'm here with PK Bhai, and we spoke about much of your life to this point, and you said that you have a friend who, in the duration of you coming out to him, he came out to you as bisexual himself, but he's still scared to acknowledge that. Then where did this fear come from? What happened?
So this is not a fear, but then apparently people are not aware about Section 377, and that is where people get bullied or there are extortions. So in his case, this was certainly not expected coming to my person. Like, he is my very good friend, and I have heard things or cases going around with others, but when you say na apne pe beetti hai to pata chalta hai. So it's like that. This person is calling me at around 2:30 in the night, and I was sleeping after my shift, and because of my phone ringing for continuously half an hour, I was like, what is wrong with you? Stop calling me at this hour.
It's probably drunk or something.
Yeah, maybe. Because he is generally a quiet and calm person. He hardly calls. We rarely meet. We are generally either on WhatsApp talking to each other, but then we are still connected as beautiful friends. This person calls me and he's like, so this is what has happened with me. I'm like, kya hua, bol to sahi. And he was, you know what, I met someone on Grindr. You're like, wow, congrats. And he's like, there is nothing to be joking about. It's not a joke. And he went very serious and very blank. Like, what is wrong? Can you just tell me? And then he started. I met this guy. I got him home. And then there was a guy who followed him. They came home. They did some drama. They took him out. They took him to some police station and extorted some $10,000. They were asking for 50, but he said he didn't have any, so he agreed for 10,000. And I was like, why did you agree to it? And this guy, my friend, he was very scared. What is happening? He was not aware of any kind of the situation. Just a day before, I had met him and I was about to tell him that the speed you are going, dating people or the dates that you have, you need to slow down. You may come across certain things like that. And I was like, he will never do that kind of stuff. He will be at least be sensible enough to see the person outside and then meet and take home. And this happens the very next day. And I'm like, why didn't I tell him last night when we were together?
So, like, extortion, basically they were trying to get money out of him.
Yeah, they took $10,000.
Threatening to,
Yeah, they and this person is like, they told me they will charge me against 377. I'm like, what do you mean by 377? Do you even know that? He's like, no, but obviously if someone got like catches me in gay sexual activity, I will be caught, no? And like, listen, did you have sex with him? No. Did you even kiss him? No.
There was no physical proof.
Exactly. And he didn't caught you in bed. You were just there at his place. You were not doing anything. They just entered and this thing happened. Like,
it's more
what
like
is
the movie
proof?
Aligarh. A lot of
Totally.
very similar. Yeah.
And this movie came in very much later after this scene, and I made sure that this person watches that movie, and he felt terribly bad because he always brushed me off. Ki sexuality is not that important, and you know, it is just there. You don't have to keep roaming with it, and it is part of life. It is not life. Like, this is what happens when you don't know things. So I had to tell him ki read about
Understand.
those articles,
Yeah,
read
yeah.
about those cases that have happened, try to understand what and when 377 is applicable.
Just the fact that there's so much of the pantomime and fear is
Yeah.
always there, and people use it to even, you know, as a shield to threaten you even more and bring you down even more.
Yeah.
But it's not really that. Section 377 condemns carnal sex, which is anything that does not involve a penis going inside a vagina, essentially. If it goes anywhere else, their problem. And unless they can get a video proof or like physical proof
Yeah.
of friction or of
Totally.
physical sexual
So
abuse.
apparently, kissing someone is also 377 act.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Kissing someone on something else than the lips,
Yeah,
I
man.
think is what.
I don't know how, but then this 377 thing is like, I don't know if it's a joke. Because I don't know how, but there are certain friends of mine who are married since ages now. So just out of the blue, I just asked them, okay, what kind of sex do you prefer? Like, how do you like it? I know it was none of my business, but then it was just a curiosity.
Yeah, like a survey for yourself.
Yeah, because when they ask me, I don't mind
Yeah.
telling them.
And they ask a lot.
Yeah.
Like straight folks.
How do you
keep on-
do it together?
Yeah. How does
who is
this
on
go
the
there?
top?
Yeah.
Like who is the man on the go? They're like, listen, there is nothing like that. You need to stop. So it was one of my incidents when I tried to ask
तू
him.
बता तू क्या करती है?
हाँ, exactly. I was in that zone. कि तू अब बताइए मुझे तुम लोग क्या करते हो? Just tell me, no, I want to know because I don't know how this happens with you.
And what was your research?
Yeah. So apparently I asked few people and they loved having anal sex.
Yeah.
So now 377 comes into picture with them as well.
Precisely. Yeah.
So book
It's-
them, man.
Yeah, it's used as a mean just to like fight,
Yeah.
you know, homosexuals who have no other option.
Totally.
But yeah, like you have to understand that this law is anyways archaic. It's stupid and should go. But we have to look at better reforms, how we can help people out instead of using it as
Totally.
a threatening device to extort money. So we'll move on from this, and just a caution in the wind for anybody who's listening: do not give into the such pressure. If you haven't slept with someone and they ask you to give money, they'll out you. Then be outed instead of giving money, because then you give them power.
No, first of all, just ask them, what did I do? What proof do you have? If you are having a text conversation, keep it with yourself. If you want, I will prefer you to go to Humsafar. They will guide you how
There's
to
proper
deal with
counseling
them.
in
Yes.
regards to that. Yeah.
Because these things are very critical. They need to go through right channel. No one will guide you better than Humsafar. And
It's true.
Those are like parents in this community who are there to guide their children.
And you've worked extensively with them.
Yeah.
Part of like the Humsafar Trust, and you've worked part of the youth wing, which is the area.
Yeah.
And we spoke about these things. What I really wanted to get to now, because see, again, as I said, we have covered all of these in the past, and it doesn't make sense, beating around the
Yeah.
bush again, because we get the idea. We get the
Totally.
point that we have an entire youth movement now rising through the country, and they are actually channelizing the movement, and they're actually leading the charge. Sridhar said this, that he feels that after all these years of fighting and struggling and making movies and doing protests, we still haven't received that kind of acknowledgement in the community, that India is still very backward with regards to gay rights, but the youth are now taking the mantle ahead. But you have
but
the system.
then when we say sorry to cut you off, but then as we say we are taking the things ahead, but considering the censor board and the films that we go through, there are better contents which show this side of the society of ours.
Yeah, true.
But then it does not reach
Yeah,
those
it
people.
never goes out
How
on-
will they know what people go through?
Yeah.
What Aligarh for that movie? Why do they give a certificate for that movie?
There was no sexual activity in that movie at all.
Exactly. And there's a certain
And
incidences.
it was banned in Aligarh only. So the most hilarious thing was that Aligarh was banned in the place that it was based on.
And just because it has a homosexual content, you will ban the movie. And when Badrinath Ke Dulhania has a molestation scene, people laugh on it.
Yeah.
How is that even relevant? Just because it's a Kejo who is not even proud of saying out those 3 words, make such things. I think he is the biggest enemy of this community itself.
Is a hypocrite? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Hypocrites are still better. I don't know what Kejo is. But then
This is a little bit of a controversial territory, though. Like, you never know, because even in the community, everybody's split about that. Like, don't force him to come out or don't anything.
it is okay if it doesn't want to come out, but then certain things are very sensitive. You cannot joke on those things. Especially when Dostana came out, everyone was being teased as Dostana who were in homosexual
Precisely,
relationship.
yeah. That was, and I don't know why people still talk about like how it was a very forward movie, but it was not. It was just mainly, first of all, for everybody who's listening, Dostana was not an original idea in the first place. It's based on a movie called I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, with Kevin James and Adam Sandler, where they have to live in an arrangement just to make sure that they get the license, residence license. And I think Dostana was such a off portrayal altogether, because none of them are idly gay, making fun of them, like how gay stereotypes are reinforced again in society, to chase a girl also in that bargain.
Totally. And when there is one scene where Abhishek Bachchan comes running, like waving his hands in air and moving his hips around.
That is the height of his career, that loser of an actor.
I don't know why these people assume, like, I know there are feminine people, but there are feminine men who are not even gays. That does not mean if you're feminine you are a gay.
Precisely.
Yeah, so
and like I remember, I'm saying precisely too much. Totally. So like, so when you look at it, like he played another character in another movie where this was even more like out and loud. I don't even remember the name of the movie because it's insignificant, because Abhishek Bachchan is a terrible actor and he deserves to be called out for his homophobia and trying to be cool, but he's not cool. So these portrayals that really hamper the society as well, because everybody goes with that assumption that this is what gay people do. They just walk to soundtrack which is very feminine or effeminate, and their wardrobe is like this and their hands are like that.
And this movie has also spoiled friendships. Do you, like, if 2 guys are just hanging around, if there are 2 best friends, they give hug to each other, they hold each other on bike. So dude, stop calling them a Dostana part 2. Like, that is just a friendship. Stop labeling everything that you see. So these are certain things.
But then there's so many movies in India which are concentrating on the better side of it. They are not commercial films. They're not Bollywood films which will encourage people to laugh at gay people, but actually are eye-opening in that regard. And that's what even your approach to movie making is, that it's okay, and this is what the movie is about. It's about a gay character, but nothing out and about. It's about a person's life in general.
And it speaks about accepting oneself. It's moreover like the positive feeling of coming out. There is a denial phase in person's life that I may not be gay, but then you need to some or the other time you have to accept that you are gay. And there is no shame. What is it? If you go hiding, you will get more respect or something. Do your job. Do good something in your life, you will get respect. You don't ask for it. You don't demand respect. You just get it. So that is what I feel. Be out and proud, man. Just how difficult is it to accept your own selves? If you cannot accept yourself, how will you accept the others? So then these things come into picture that, oh, ye to aisa dikhta hai, and then the body shaming starts. Then ये तो butch दिखती है, and this is a femme person. How can you just look at a person and label that he's a top, he's a bottom, he's a versatile? dude, stop it. Stop labeling. There are too many labels.
There are
Itna
too many
to-
labels, true.
And I don't know how people survive with this labels.
But if you go to Grindr or Pay, you will see that whole area of
Totally.
like, you know, ki I'm a straight acting male looking for the same, and I never understood what straight acting means. I never had to act straight, and I never really saw someone acting straight. I'm like, what do you do when you're acting straight? Do you like just go and beat girls around? What do you do when you're acting straight? I'm really curious. To all you men who write straight acting male, fuck off. Please go and die. Delete your profiles, you horny fucks.
I know. And
I'm very angry sometimes at this whole social, you know,
I was
culture.
very curious about this fact. You know, how does Grindr and PR look like? And
It's the worst thing on the planet.
I know. I don't think like I would ever love to be on that platform. But I just had one peep from one of my friends' profile,
Nice
and I
little
was
peep.
like, क्या होता क्या है इसमें? Just tell me.
बस अधनंगे आदमी लोग बस अपनी
And half of the men were like
खुद की trumpet blow कर रहे हो.
looking for this person, this home is free, and all
Yeah,
those
like
things.
I have place and I prefer such and such kind of person.
Yeah.
Very, very narrowed down to that limitation, you know, like filtering and everything. But then none of them are looking, because see, there are chances that some of them might find love through that. But more often than not, from my personal experience and from my friends I know,
Totally.
it's not that. It's just a hookup site, and that hampers the community also, because it's become so much about sleaze and sex instead of actual conversations,
Yeah.
meaningfulness. And you said this before, like I remember one of our conversations we had before this recording, that there's a lot of commitment phobia in the community in general.
Totally.
So do you want to talk about that?
Sure, because what I think here is, it is not only for this community, but overall, there is something people don't want to accept that fact. And I don't know, moving on is so easy for people nowadays. I don't know, you see that person last month dating someone else, now dating someone else. Like, how do you move on, man? That was my Facebook status last day. And I was, how easy is it?
To jump from one person to another. Yeah.
So, is it that you don't have anything emotional left on your end? Or is it just too practical that you just want to sleep around with someone? Is there anything involved? Do you even have conversations? Is my question. So,
That's genuine, and like we're not saying, and I know you're backing me up on this thing. That's not, it's not labeling, or it's not saying that everybody does this, but there's a very obvious flow to it. You see that, and you understand that there's so many guys and girls who are so scared to be with one person, because they're like, what's the fun in that? And guys, the human angle of it is that, you know, you already, if someone likes you, you're obviously ignoring them the right of being in love with you. Second of all, infections. We cannot keep reiterating on this podcast how dangerous infections are. They can ruin your life if you don't take care, don't take precautions. So be a little more careful.
use condoms.
Use condoms, definitely, and maybe hide your face as well, because some of you are so ugly.
Okay, but then how difficult is it to take precautions, man? You just get a condom and it is okay to buy. It's not those 80s ka era where you have to ask for a condom and you have to be like, oh, मैं इसको कैसे पूछूं? Dude, relax. You are in like 21st century. You just get it. And it is not for only you. It is for the other person's life. Just care for him, man.
Yeah.
If you don't care for yours, care for him.
Cool. I think we should close this episode now. And before we leave, though, I always ask my guests to, give a word of, advice to all those who are listening. What do you want to say to them?
I just want to make one statement over here. Do not assume, do not label, be queer.
And as we already learned, assumptions are the mother of fuck-ups.
Yeah, that's my line on this.
That's my motto in life now. Thank you, BK, so much for talking to us. I hope you had a good time.
Lovely.
And we learned so much about your life. I'm really grateful you came on the episode. And here we are signing off, but still keeping it queer.
Thank you, Navin.
Goodbye. Well, if you enjoyed the show, you can listen to more of it on any of the podcasting apps you like. You can look out for us on Audio Boom, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Beyond Pod. But if you're looking for us on the iTunes India store, you might have a bit of a trouble finding us because of the language used on the show. So be sure to change your location and then listen to us. For now, it's me, Naveen Narona, signing off. Goodbye. Thank you so much. And please continue keeping it queer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.